Hello again from my front porch. What a wonderful weekend I had. I should say a wonder-filled weekend to be specific. But I mean, it started with the book signing, which I was talking about all leading up to, and that happened. It's a little dreary kind of day, but I was very thrilled that several of my friends showed up, and several individuals that I knew professionally showed up. Sold a few copies of the books. That was good. The folks at the Barnes & Noble out there at Jordan Creek Mall treated me very well, treated all of us very well. There were actually 4 of us out there who were all doing book signing, different types of books. So that was also interesting because, that means that there were other people that were drawn in to come and see, oh, what's this book about? What's that book about? And then you got a chance to talk to them about your book too. And, some of those individuals would purchase an additional book also. So anyway, that was a good time. Then after that, though, is when the real wonder-filled part of my weekend begins, because that evening I got to attend the Madrigal Dinner at Drake University. Now, I've had opportunity over the years to attend Madrigal Dinners at different times, because Iowa State does them as well. And even though I went to Iowa State, and that was a while ago, and I've had opportunities while I was a student and since to attend the ISU Madrigal Dinners, I never took advantage of those opportunities. And now I really kick myself because I really enjoyed it. It was a great time. Now, if you're not familiar with what a Madrigal Dinner is, it's basically like stepping back in time and being invited by a king and queen during medieval times to their castle for a big banquet feast with their lords and ladies, with all the minstrels and the court jester, and all this kind of stuff, the whole ball of wax. Now, this particular one was all facilitated by the Drake Music Department, which means that we were entertained by authentic instrumental music on instruments that weren't vintage from that era, because those would be very, very old, but were authentic replicas, authentic reproductions of the instruments used back then. They made some interesting sounds, but it was the music that you would have heard back then. And then also the performers, who were the king and queen and the lords and ladies, all sitting at the main head table, they were the chamber choir, and so they sang several songs. Now, not only was this done by, which I got to say, the songs are beautiful, and you're going to get to hear some of them here, but the songs were also vintage, were also old English songs. And because this was a Christmas-themed Madrigal Dinner, it was a Christmas celebration Madrigal Dinner, that meant that pretty much all of the music that was done was around Christmas-themed things, and so there were several of the songs, "Good King Wenceslas" and things like that we would recognize today that they shared as part of this, but they did it in a very distinctive medieval kind of way. So you had the minstrels and their instruments going along, and you had the harmonies of the chamber choir were more appropriate for that age, as opposed to what we might hear in a more modern choral piece. And so it was very well done. I enjoyed it very, very much. And I'm going to insert in here, because I can't do justice explaining it. You're going to have to see it. But before I get into the montage of video clips, I also have to mention that it featured a 6-course meal. And that was very tasty. I enjoyed all of the meal segments went along, and very pleased that for the most part, I didn't have to cheat too much from my diabetic imposed diet, but I did have to cheat a little bit. Fortunately, that's why they make metformin. But anyway, the food, I'm not sure exactly who prepared this. Probably prepared by the kitchen services there at Drake, the catering services within Drake. But whoever did it did a fantastic job. It was absolutely delicious. I enjoyed all of it. And because, again, it's a Christmas-themed Madrigal Dinner, you better believe it, they brought us the figgy pudding.
For we all like our figgy pudding, we all like our figgy pudding, for we all like our figgy pudding, so bring some out here, and we won't go until we get some, and we won't go until we get some, and we won't go until we get some, so bring some out here. Good tidings to you, wherever you are.
I beg to put before you the flaming figgy pudding, so that we may close this feast in a right and honorable way.
I humbly accept and do thank thee.
Oh, you do our cooks much honor, my lord, for they have labored with fruit and nut, toiled with eggs and suet, consorted with breadcrumbs and spices. And they've served themselves with brandy too.
Now the figgy pudding is something that not only do you get it, and I'd never had figgy pudding. I'd never had it. Figgy pudding, at least as prepared for this Madrigal dinner, felt much more like bread, like almost like fruit cake, but without the fruit in it. I mean, it's very firm and solid, but it comes, and then it's got this flammable liquid, generally brandy. I don't know if it actually was brandy that they served there or what it was, but that's generally what it is. And the brandy you pour on top and you light it on fire, or you light it on fire in the little bowl and then you pour it on top, one or the other, right? Whichever you want to do. But point is, it's supposed to flame like this. And so it was kind of amusing that at the table I was sitting, one of the individuals was tapped to do that for us, and we had a few laughs at his expense because of because apparently there was another lady at the table who had the previous year done it and had done it like that, and so then when he wasn't able to quite do it right away, there was a mute. Well, I'll show you. Here you go. This is a video of his efforts.
All right, here how this works. So you're gonna burn that up, blow it out, and pour it over this.
Okay.
Or you can, if you want to, you don't do it. You don't want to.
I wanna.
And then
Yeah.
light it?
That's not really. It won't really burn the alcohol.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I gotta light the.
Like the alcohol first, then blow it out, pour it over there, so you can put cream sauce in that too.
Alright.
All right, enjoy y'all.
Is everyone ready?
Alright,
Ready? Yep.
Wait, are you leaving the match in the alcohol?
No.
Okay.
Of course not. Poor Warren.
Just checking.
Goodness, mother.
Everyone's a critic.
I know. It's not really alcohol, they get it. Oh, there it is.
there it goes.
That's it, Warren.
You just blew it out.
Alright, not impressive.
You have enough matches.
Yeah.
Swirl the alcohol a little bit. No. Just take it, go this way.
I feel like I'm gonna smell it. Do it this way.
What did you say you were supposed to do?
Light it, blow it out, then pour it over.
I think we can freeform it. Didn't you like throw it on top?
I just poured it on top.
Yeah, pour it on top and then light it.
We have like a.
Break the rules. It's fine.
I don't want to get us in trouble.
There's no getting in trouble.
I think if this third match doesn't work, the alcohol's burned up.
There we go.
There it is.
Nope.
All right, give it to mom. She'll do it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just pour it over it. We're all good.
We all saw it, right?
Yeah.
We saw it.
So we're done?
We're good.
Okay.
Rebel. Oh, now it's going on the table. Gonna burn the table.
Seriously?
No, it didn't.
We're good.
You do it.
Oh, do it. Do it. Mama Kay says
Warren,
do it.
Warren.
No, do it. See if it. Oh, it's all
Hurry up.
sucked in.
Hurry up.
It all got sucked in.
God.
Good job.
Finally, we got some figgy pudding.
And so we finally did get our figgy pudding. It was very tasty. I also want to give a real big shout out to my friend Annette Benjamin for inviting me to go to accompany her to the event. Little did I know that Annette was well connected, because she's very close to a young lady named Audrey, who was a senior at this Madrigal Dinner, and as such was a featured performer, and her family was all there. See, and a lot of the kids who were in that didn't actually have family there, because they've come from other parts of the country, and it's just difficult for family to come and attend something like that. But Audrey's family was there, and so we actually wound up at table 1. That's where we were at. So I feel very, very special, not only to get to go, but to get literally a front row seat to the entire event, because we're sitting at table number 1. And they were wonderful people. It was great to meet them and get to know them. And again, I thank Annette for inviting me for the meal, the music, the fun, the festivities, and the figgy pudding. It really was a great time.
And God send you a happy new year. God bless the master of this house, likewise the mistress too, and all the little children that round the table go. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year.
And in hand bear I, bedecked with bays and rosemary. And I pray you, my master, be merry. Godeste sin convivio.
Yorish days, now is best leisure to take our pleasure. All things invite us now to delight us. All things invite us now to delight us. Hence care be packing, no mirth be lacking, lest there no treasure to live in pleasure. Hence care be packing, no mirth be lacking, lest there no treasure to live in pleasure.
So that's what I did Saturday night. Well, then Sunday I thought was going to be just, just Sunday, get some stuff done around the house, do whatever. But then, poof, out of the blue, the Iowa Wolves called up and said, hey, would you like to come sing the National Anthem for us tonight? And I said, yes, I would. because I never turn down a chance unless for some reason I just simply can't do it. So yes, I was happy to do so, and so I went and did that. My friends Tarah and Michele Olson, who runs Merle Hay Lanes. They both came along with me, accompanied me as my fan group to go with me. And then also, guess who was there up in one of the snooty suites? No, I shouldn't say snooty because she was with like Cancer Association, so it's not, but she was living the sweet life. Up above was Annette. She was there too. And so it was really kind of fun to be able to sing the national anthem for the Iowa Wolves, and then be literally surrounded by so many wonderful, great friends. And the Iowa Wolves even won their game. Icing on the cake.
Early light, what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So yeah, that was quite a fun and wonder-filled weekend. I enjoyed it very much. Now on to a brand new bold week. Here's to another fantastic week ahead of us. One of the, actually, I gotta look at maybe next week too. I was gonna say one of the last weeks, full weeks that we have before a holiday hits, but next week will be too. But this week is gonna be really exciting for me because today I have a conversation where I'm with folks at ATD recording for a podcast that they're going to do. Tomorrow I have the webinar session that I'm doing for the Buffalo, New York, the Buffalo Niagara chapter of ATD, the local chapter. Like we have the Central Iowa chapter here in Des Moines. They have an ATD chapter called the Buffalo Niagara chapter out in New York. And so I'm doing a webinar for them tomorrow. And then on Friday, I do a webinar for ATD, the Association for Talent Development, do a webinar for them that is actually technically an international webinar. All of that about my structured on the job training topic with my Learning While Working book. So, lots of excitement going on this week. And in addition to that, I actually get to go do my job that I love too. Speaking of which, I better get going before they say you're late, Paul. You don't get to keep doing this job. No, they wouldn't say that. But still, I don't want to get in trouble anyway. All right, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.